You are now tuned in to the realest podcast.
MW, we back up in this thing. You can't roll with us if your last name don't got no loyalty. Podcast party poppin', but you already knew. I've been rolling with these folks. This that Monday night crew. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you.
Yo, what's happening, man? It's your boy K.Mims, man. Welcome to the first live show of the year, man. It's your boy K.Mims, the only spot you get authenticity and entertainment at the same time. I got my bro Dot with me. What's happening, man?
What's good, brother?
I got my good sis Asia from Small Talking Monday Night Crew. What's happening?
Hey, y'all. Hey.
What's happening? So, man, this year, if y'all don't already know, man, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that bell so you get when all the new notifications come up each year. Also, our live, our social interviews from Miami are live. So please check that out. Also, we had a kickback last month, the Ugly Sweater edition with DJ Marcus Sale. They're all live now. Tap into that. So, Asia, I'm going to start asking you a question that B-Dot proposed to me, but I feel like a woman should answer it. B-Dot has said before the show, and I ain't gonna get on what we are talking about. B-Dot said before the show, do you think it's a bad thing if guys pay each other's compliments publicly in front of other people, like to your friend?
No, I think that's like fair for them to do that. Ain't nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. Paying another man a compliment.
Does it matter how it sounds?
Yeah. I mean, but
So,
like, give me like.
So how do you give a compliment that?
No,
don't
give the
sound-
example that you gave earlier. Don't. Give the example that you gave earlier.
What did I say? What did I say?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it out loud. Give the example that you said earlier, bro. Nah. Say what you said earlier, and if she
you
say
not gonna
cool with
say
that,
it,
then,
you think he gonna say it? Let me see.
so
I really don't remember what I said though.
so earlier he was like, bruh. So he was like, ain't nothing wrong with playing guys compliment. He's like, bruh, if your homeboy looking good, he's like, if your homeboy's sharp, he can say, damn, bro, you look good tonight. You looking good tonight. What you think about that, Asia?
I think that's fair. I think that's okay to say.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's very different though. If it's like, it's very different. It's like, oh, you looking good tonight, man. You know, it's very different. Than like, you know, like you looking,
Hey, bro, you look
looking
good tonight. What?
That's very different. That felt like that came from Beat Out Soul though. I feel like that's
Hey, Sneak.
that's
Hey,
how
Sneak.
he went to.
Mm-hmm. Hey man, don't do no. Hey man, come on, man. Hey, don't do no ignorance while we up here, bro. Come on, man. Anyway, man, how was y'all holiday, man? How was y'all holiday? How was everybody holiday? How's the new year been? 2025 kicked off. How's everybody doing? How was y'all holiday?
It was good. It was good for me. Like me and my family, we do Christmas at New Year's. So like for the New Year, we brought it in actually like opening presents, being around the Christmas tree, decorating the Christmas tree. So I always enjoy that. So it's super cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. What about you, Dot?
It was good, bro. It was actually pretty chill for me this year. We celebrated Christmas on Christmas Eve as usual. And then Christmas Day, we didn't really do much. Let the boys open their gifts and kind of chill for the rest of the day. After that, it's been grind time, man.
For sure. Mine was good, bro. I'm not really the holiday type. Like, it was good to see my kids do it. I'm not the holiday type, not because of the actual holiday itself, but it's kind of like I'll be this guy. Maybe because I'm a dad and a husband. Like, I don't like the way the holidays pressure you into paying for stuff.
Yep.
It's like everybody feel like they got to pay for stuff and have stuff. Like, am I wrong for this? Let me ask y'all this. Am I wrong? Like, I don't care about getting other adults gifts, not name my wife. Like, her, yes, but like other adults, I don't care if I don't get you a gift. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong. I think it's like a surprise, low key, like when another adult gets me like a gift, it's like, whoa, my bad, because I didn't get you one. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's like a Secret Santa or what's the other one? The white elephant. Like unless it's something
Yeah.
like that. then
Mm-hmm.
that's, I don't know.
What's
What's
the
that look
white
for
elephant?
Visa?
What's the white elephant?
That's that's where like everybody you buy, like you get like a budget, everybody buys a present, you wrap it, you put it in the middle of the room. Everybody gets like a number essentially. And
Mm-hmm.
then person one goes, they open up their gift, they say if they want to keep it. Well, the first person has to keep theirs. Cool, right? Let's say beat out your next. You open up your present and you get to say if you want to steal mine. No, you don't open yours first. You say
Mm-hmm.
you want to steal mine or
Yep.
you want to
Mm-hmm.
get one from the pile. And then
Yep.
you kind of go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then the first person that went, they are now able to see all the presents so they could kind of steal. They could so it's best to go first, really. So you get to see all the
I've
presents. So that's why.
I've heard of that. I didn't know the name of it.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what, man. I pissed somebody off, man. Somebody got an Echo Dot. It was the best gift, and I was last, so you didn't get to take my gift. Man, nobody. So I forgot what it was. It's like you could only swap
You
out
what?
once, I believe. So when
Mm-hmm.
he swapped out, he couldn't go nowhere, and I was last, so couldn't nobody take from me. As soon as it came to me, I said, "I'm sorry, my boy. You gonna be pissed off, boy, because the last gift up there was a small gift card. That was a $10 gift card to Starbucks, and I got it, and I got the Echo Dot in the crib right now. Hey, look, it is what it is, man. It is what it
That's
is.
messed up. I
That's
got a
wild.
vegetable cutter one time.
Mm.
That's a
Yeah.
responsible white elephant.
It was horrible. Like I didn't want it.
All right. So let's get into it, y'all. So I put this in the Monday Night Crew chat. So a couple of weeks ago, Meg Thee Stallion came out publicly with a boyfriend, an NBA player, Torrey Craig. They booed up, doing good, X, Y, and Z. Like 3 days ago, I shouldn't call her a side chick, a woman that was allegedly messing with him at the same time, likes expose all their text messages saying that he'd been over here. He came out and said like she has DMs and text with his name, and she did a screen recording to scroll up to see how active it was. So Meg goes through that. He denies that, and basically she plays on her story Meg Thee Stallion's song exposing her boyfriend. This is my question to Asia. I got to throw it to you first because you're a woman. I'm sorry. What
That's fine.
does it make it worse that she threw it out there? And let's say even if the receipts are old, does she have to investigate that now that it's put out there? Like now that somebody says something and she's swiping saying it's your name. If you really trust him and it's alleged, do you still got to investigate now that you've been put out there in that type of way?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Especially because and she my song. Like that was unnecessary. Like, so for me, I'm investigating. But if I can be honest with you, like I think for most women, we are not the first if it's done to us, we're not the first ones that's investigating. A lot of us have a homegirl that has already been, by the time we come to the group chat or whatever, there's already a
Mhm.
friend that has dug deep, knows where Shorty went to middle school, like what she ate yesterday, how they met, when they met, what she was wearing when they met. Like I wouldn't have to put in that much work. I have homegirls that would already come to me with all the things.
Hmm.
May I?
How long have they been dating?
It's been public for maybe 4 or 5 months. I don't know how long they've been dating all together.
Mm.
But Asia, can I ask you a question to that?
Yeah.
Doesn't that low key make it harder to be together though? Like if you got friends that's dissecting everything, like if you got friends that's already dissecting the whole situation, and that's your circle, your protective circle, doesn't it make everything harder to happen that way?
Make what harder to happen? Like for me to
Your
stay with him?
relationship. If every time something happens, I got a slew of people that's always looking up, diving into it, saying this is that, and sending it to you, saying, "Girl, doesn't that make it harder?" Like, how are you able to get
That's
through that
different.
yourself?
That's different
Okay.
though, because like if she would not have made it public in the way that she did, that's a
Hmm.
whole different scenario. It's not like saying like, oh, every time like I'm like, y'all, I think he looked at me crazy, they're coming with receipts, or
Hmm.
oh, he's not with me tonight. Like, where is he at, sisters? Like it's not it's not like that. But
Hmm.
for it to be made public in that way, and she, like the girl that leaked everything, she knew what she was doing because she wouldn't have played Meg's song in the background. Like it's like
For
small
sure.
stuff like
She's being
that.
funny.
So yeah, she was being funny. So a lot of times it does kick in and being protected because it's not just about dude either. It's like, okay, shorty, like we get it. Like he's in the wrong, obviously. Let me investigate that. But also on your end, you could have just put the, if you were going to put the screenshots out there, do that. You could have also just DM'd me if you really cared, but you didn't do that. You were doing so many things for clout. And so that makes her look worse, like the girl look worse. That's what my girls would go after.
Okay. Dot, what's your thoughts, bro? What's your thoughts if you have any on it? I got something I gotta say that I ain't going that I know it's not.
Go for it.
That's like,
I
I'm
just
not
don't
touching
understand.
that.
Respectfully, and I'm not judging. I mean everything I'm about to say respectfully. I don't see why Meg keep getting the short end of the stick, bro. Like huh?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Say that again. What you say?
I said go ahead.
No, I just don't understand it. Like, I'm not gonna bring up the situation with Tory Lanez, you know what I'm saying? But like, Meg keep getting the short. She seemed like a super down to earth woman. She obviously is successful. She's beautiful, you know, Meg the Stallion, the namesake. You know what I mean? But like, bro, I gotta say this the right way. It just feel like she was with this guy, something happened. Then she had a little fun in this guy. I'm not judging her living her life, but like she seemed like a solid woman to keep getting the short end of the stick. Like, when does it become a little, all right, what's really going on here? Or am I tripping? And outside of the Tory Lanez thing, because that should never happen no matter what. But like, hi, damn, she keep getting that short end of the stick over and over.
I mean, that right there alone let you know you don't know her behind closed doors. We only know her for what we see on TV. So obviously there's something on the back end that ain't I ain't gonna say it ain't right, but somebody ain't liking.
Ain't right with her? Ain't right with Meg? Wait, what are we? What are
Gotta
we?
be. I mean, she's the common denominator.
I posed the
May
question.
I?
Hey, Asia,
Wait,
I
may
just
I?
posed the question. I just put yes, absolutely.
You heard me though? May I?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Like, do you mean that there must be something wrong with her on the back end? Like, there's something
I mean,
about
not
Meg that we
necessarily.
don't know?
Yeah, we don't know her. He said she seems like this good person, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's the common denominator in this situation. We don't know her. We don't know her for real. We know what we see. You don't know her behind closed doors. But again, also as far as cheating goes, ain't nobody above getting cheated on, obviously.
So from the one and only, Princess said, "Is it something, or maybe niggas ain't shit?"
See.
That's where I was.
Go ahead, Asia. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying like that's where I was going with it because like that, it's not like, how do I say this?
Just
All
say
the
it, Bo.
things that
Just say it,
all
Bo.
the things that have come out, right? With Meg, and I do agree though, Keenan, right? I do think that it feels like she keeps getting the short end of the stick. I think a part of that though is because I think her just being Meg, right? Like the type of men, like she's also not dealing with like regular dudes either, right? And
I
we are
agree.
only talking her dating life, right? So like and this is sad to say, but the probability of her getting cheated on or the probability of some other chick posting things and all that kind of stuff is higher if
Way
she's
greater.
dating higher profile men, right? I don't think that's a reflection on Meg, but I think it's like a reflection on her status. I think it's a reflection of like just the dating scene, the more celebrity and status that you have, right? Like, is cheating the norm? Is getting the short end of the stick for women, the higher you go, is this the norm? I don't think it's
So
Meg.
I'm gonna Asia, I'm gonna get to you, but to Princess, this comment right here specifically. I'm gonna say this. I will hear. Hey, look. So I think it's some truth to what Asia's saying, but what I'm saying is, like, okay, there's one common denominator out of all those situations. There's one common denominator, and this is the thing: the dude that's cool, that's not famous, that she's not gonna bring to every party, he's not gonna get put on the internet. That's my issue with it. So then that relationship goes south. Why? We may not know, but like it's not gonna go south because somebody's trying to out him. It's gonna go south for another reason. And hey, hey, Princess, like you hey, it's not gonna go south for that reason But there's one common denominator. If it keeps, let's take Meg for a second. If it keeps happening over and over and over to the same person, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like there has to be some type of self-reflection. I'm not going to blame her. I'm not victim shaming, but it got to be some type of line drawn somewhere. I will say that. And Princess said, "Be not fix your face." Hey, anything else on Meg and Tory Craig? No. So Meg, we hope he ain't do it. We hope you don't find nothing. We wish you happiness. But I don't know. Something ain't right, bro. Something ain't right.
I just don't. All right, let me stop.
Something ain't right.
What y'all gotta say about what y'all gotta say about about him though? Like neither one of y'all said anything about him.
So my thing
and then
is,
it's really feeling so comfortable to post all these things on social media.
Okay, you know what, Asia, that was really good. I'm glad you went there. So I think he is wrong, absolutely, hands down. So 9 times out of 10, like if they're absolutely wrong, they don't go and say like, "Come on, man, chill out." He went online and said it. If I personally think dudes is stupid. Like if you dropping that, like, and for her, you want to be very real, the chick that posted it, she ain't got nothing on Meg. So I don't even understand why you messing with this over here and trying to get rid of this, and you already got this one right here. So the girl that posted it, I don't even agree with fumbling the bag over her. Secondly, like, bro gonna get what's coming for him if he did it. Like, I do not think it's cool. I don't think because you got money you should be doing it. But in reality, it's like this. I feel like it's easier to spark those things. And again, I'm not defending if the dude actually did it, but it's easily to spark those things woman to woman than it would be anywhere else because it's an emotional response that's going to come with it. You know what I'm saying? Like that was just wrong home wrecker activity. If he didn't do it, if he did do it, he get what he deserved.
Thank you. I think the people
You're welcome.
needed to hear that.
Okay. So the big bomb today. So let me be very clear and disclaimer in what we about to rap about right now. The alleged, well, the lawsuit's not alleged, but the alleged things in the lawsuit were not about Joy Taylor. They were about I'm gonna say Jane Doe and Skip Bayless. And in the court document, the Jane Doe explained some interactions about Joy Taylor. I forgot my man's name off Fox. Echo such and such, and then one of the big wigs. So it allegedly came out that Joy Taylor basically slept her way to the top of Fox Sports. You know what I mean? If y'all don't know who Joy Taylor is, she's a well-known media personality in the sports space. Attractive woman, and she talks about how, she's living her best life. She don't need nobody, X, Y, and Z. But in these court papers and the alleged actions, people are now saying that like she kind of slept around to secure her job or move her way up the ladder. I have 2 questions for you all. 2 really good questions too. A, do you all believe men are able, in that same scenario, would men be able to sleep their way up a ladder or sleep their way to protect their job? A, and B, let me start with that question, then I'm gonna go to the next one. The next one is a little more, because do y'all think that if she's a man and it comes out the other way, does it matter that she's as high as she is?
No. Like, simple as that. No.
It ain't be in jail, man.
Exactly.
So it do matter.
It wouldn't. You said, would he be able to climb the ladder the same way?
People are crucifying her. What I'm saying is people are crucifying her, saying she slept her way for job security and to get where she's at.
Right. And you saying could a man do that?
Would it matter? Like if he did it and got to where he was, would that be what people are all going crazy about? Or is it even possible for him to do that?
I'm saying it's not possible for him to do that. Because like you just said, he gonna be in jail. He's gonna be in jail. Man. It's not as dudes are way more no, that's not true. I was gonna say they're more sexual than women, but that's not true. But
hey, what you mean by that, Dot? Further explain.
I just said it's not true. So
so are you saying that women are more sexual than men? It's the same, what you're saying?
No, it can be the same.
Okay.
You're not about to get me, my brother. But no, I do not feel like it would be the same. He'd be in jail.
Asia, what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are, and maybe my understanding is a little different, so help me for real.
Hmm.
I don't think that would be possible because, like, I don't want to sound like this, but I have to.
I
Like,
know
what
exactly what you're
women
about
do
to
we
say.
know that are at the top? Like,
That's
that
what
can't
Princess
be
just said.
possible because there are no women that are sitting up at the top. Like, that's like when we talk about the patriarchy and all those things,
Mhm.
like, when would a man need to do those things, right? Or feel like, thank you, princess. Like the people that are at the top and all these things, it's men. So I don't see how it would, yeah, I don't think that it's possible the way that systems are set up.
So I respect that. And Princess said the opportunity doesn't present itself that often for men because most times it's not a woman at the top. Adrian said that too. I agree with both of y'all. But I think the thing is in the paperwork, it's like she did things to kind of allegedly put people in positions where they couldn't get rid of her either. So meaning like she may not have I think there's levels to top, right? Like not the people that run the company that's like you're never going to see them X, Y, Z. However, there is like there are a lot of women in like that mid-level management type vibe, if you would say. Now they're becoming more. I shouldn't say a lot of women, but there are more. I just can't see a guy being able to, in any instance, use sex as a quote unquote blackmail, alleged or not, whatever the case may be. I don't see guys being able to leverage they penis for a position in any
I think
instance.
that I think that they do
Okay,
until the
I'm listening.
lawsuits come out. Like, I think that they do. I think that there are men that woo women to get the things that they want. And then when things stop, then sometimes that's when a particular like lawsuit will come out, or
Mhm.
when the guy now gets what he wants from the situation, and then the woman is like tossed to the side, right? I think that these things do happen. I definitely think that there are men that manipulate their way into women or with women, like, to get the things that they want. I just think that sometimes, and even if we think about some of the lawsuits, right? Like, if to your point though about like he would be in jail. Yeah, but after how long, right? Like, I think that it happens. I don't think that it has like a good ending for them, but I definitely
Mhm.
think that it happens.
Do you think she's going to reap those same consequences if it comes out to be true that a man would?
Mm-mm.
Further
We
explain.
can slap on the wrist.
What?
I
Both of
said
y'all,
further.
further explain. And what'd you say, beat up?
I said it's just gonna be a little slap on the wrist.
I think it would just be more of like her reputation. Like
Hmm.
now she's, but if I can be honest, like, I don't want to say this, but things like this have happened for a while with women in the industry, right? Like even the whole idea of like sleeping your way to the top, that has been a thing that we have been talking about forever. And a lot of times it is talking about the woman that's sleeping her way to the top somewhere, to the point where a lot of women that become higher up, or I'm even thinking about musical artists, a lot of times they make it a point to say at some point in their career, I did not have to sleep my way to the top. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
it becomes like a, because so many people are doing it, it's like a no, I didn't have to do that. Like, I really worked hard for mine. So I think that that's like,
Brittany, what
it
up?
happens that way. Hi, sis.
Hey y'all.
What up? What up?
Hey, hey.
Appreciate you tapping in. So, Asia, can I ask this? And this is going to sound really, 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 really bad, but I feel like y'all my people, and I can say it. Earlier, you mentioned like reputation, right? And let me go back and say this: Joy Taylor is like a very big name in the industry, sports wise. That's a most industries are, but that's a male dominated industry. Sports, media, all that great stuff, right? Do you feel like because of do you feel like in those industries you have to do that? And it makes it hard for other women that's not doing it to actually come as far as they need to because they're not giving their body up, because they're not doing all those things. So the next, what's my girl name? The young girl, Taylor. I think her name is Taylor Brooks, I believe. So I think they got a show together. But like if the young pretty girl is not doing it and the little bit older, more successful girl is doing it, does she make it hard for her counterparts to come up another way?
I think like in general, and I'm gonna generalize it like outside of this particular situation. I think so. And I think it even goes back to the statement I just said. I think that's why you have some women, and I'm just thinking of the music industry where it has been prevalent for such a long time and we all know about it, right? Like
Mm,
that's why you do have so many women that it's like, no, I worked hard for it. Like they make it a point to let you know that they really put the time in, right? I think when we think about Joy Taylor, right? Like she is good at what she does though.
for sure.
So there are other times that it's like, and obviously all this stuff is alleged, but it's like she's good at what she does because you also have some people, I'm thinking of the music industry, that it's been alleged that they have done the same thing. And it's like, yeah, you probably wouldn't have gotten there when you did, you know what I'm saying? Because your talent is but with her, like she actually is good at what she does. And I think that that also counts for something when you think about that, because sometimes the idea is women or people that are quote unquote sleeping their way to the top, they have to overcompensate for not having the talent, right? But
Agreed.
I think she's good at what she does. Also makes the argument of, did this happen? What was it really? That type of thing.
For sure. Princess said, "Do we think she'd be fired?" No, no. I think she just played the game and won. Cause there ain't really nothing besides her, like Asia said, besides her reputation that's really up. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
Marcus Sell said, cause what the F he finna do with her? Laugh out loud. I mean, just- hey, if I ask a question, are y'all gonna judge me?
Possibly.
Maybe, but go ahead and ask.
Okay, cool. Safe space, right? So this is like a play off that, but like a different type of question. I kind of see it in the trendy trend way where like a lot of women who have been attractive their whole lives, always work hard, been attractive their whole lives, kind of fall into this like, I'm gonna play the game the right way. I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna get to where I need to go. I don't need a man. I'm by myself solo, which is nothing wrong with that. Do you all think like being attractive, and I'm not talking about this specifically, but it made me think of this question. Do you think being attractive your whole life and being told that and always being able, people always acknowledge that and came after that? Do you feel like after a certain point of age, mid 30s, late 30s, if you haven't been married or you haven't had a situation, you kind of lack humility in the dating world because you feel like you the ish and can't? I'm asking a question. Is it damn? You said not no judging. Why you looking like that?
No, I was really whoa. I was
Yeah,
agreeing with
because
you.
I was already nervous,
In
bro.
my I was really agreeing with you. In my head, I was
Mhm.
really saying, why would they be humble? That's really what that look was. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
appreciate that.
you know what I'm saying? See, I was with you. I was with
I
you.
appreciate that. But what's y'all thoughts, Brittany? Be like, what y'all think? Like, I see it a lot, man. I don't, man. I'm not about. I ain't about to be all. I see it a lot. A lot of women that end up, Vivica A. Fox is one too. A lot of women that end up like in their later phase that have been dealing with a lot of guys, or not dealing with like guys, been called attractive. They are attractive, but they've been told that their whole life. Like they get older and like, it's like there's no humility there. And it's
Mhm.
always, oh, I need. But like, what's your thoughts on that, Dot? Asia kind of gave hers.
I mean, you absolutely right. You gotta be told no. Same thing with dudes who haven't been told no by the opposite sex. You gonna be a arrogant somebody if you think you the shit. And she probably thinks she the shit. That's how it go. Mm.
I think you will have to really, really, really be mindful of, bro. If you don't got no humility, bro, you ain't gonna make it in no relationship. I don't give a damn. Like after a certain while, if you ain't been humble, you not gonna get in a relationship and make it. There's a couple. I'm not woman bashing, so I don't want to say a whole bunch of names, but like I'm starting to see it a lot more in a lot of people that's getting in front of cameras that just come off like, yo, you just don't have no humility. You really don't think it could be anybody else but you. Like I'm really starting to see that.
Mm.
Go ahead, Asia. Was you about to say something?
I have a Yeah, I was going to ask a question, but do you think like from what we see, do you think like it's their persona, like who they have to present themselves? Because you're talking about like people that we see like front and center, right? Like, Do they have to present themselves that way? Like, is it their persona, or do you really believe that they don't have humility? And I'm just asking because, like, I can't imagine like a dude who's like, I don't know. Let me talk about like Shannon Sharp, right? Like, I can't imagine him like coming off as like, well, great, no, because he's a humble guy, but there's a confidence about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I do believe a part of what we see is his persona, because we have to believe that he's a confident guy. I wouldn't watch, what is Uncle Sharp's Den or whatever it's called. Like, I wouldn't watch it if I didn't be that. I don't do that. But if I wasn't, connected or drawn to his persona. So do you think that his persona, I think, is actually like they really are not humble?
A little bit of both, right? I'm this type of guy. Like, I don't believe you can go to the strip club every Tuesday and not be influenced, right? Like, where you spend time and how you act matters, right? So if you're constantly in that persona, like, I use somebody like a Deion Sanders, same thing like Shannon Sharp. He talks about how, like, I understand this is who I gotta be when I gotta be it. But he also talks about the humble side the same way Shannon Sharp does. Some of these people never talk about that. It's always this quote unquote persona. So you have the opportunity to kind of kill that you can kind of nip that in the bud without people having to tell you that, but you don't want to do that. You want to stand in it. You want, oh, this is just me and dudes can't handle it, X, Y, and Z. That's my problem. So Marcus Sell said, I don't like Emmanuel laugh aloud. She should have F Skip Bayless or Stephen A if she was trying to get somewhere. Bro, is why he wild, bro. He said one thing about entertainment: people live in their personas. If they're acting long enough, it becomes them, i.e. Tupac. That is true though. I do believe that, Asia. I think it's a really good thing you said. I'm just saying, like, I don't think nobody can act that good all the time. So the last thing I'll say to your point, how often do you got to spend time in that persona? Like once a week, okay. But if I'm doing it every day because I got to keep it up, like, come on. Brittany, what's your thoughts?
I don't really know the question, but because my internet's crappy. But to your last point, I think a lot of the time too, this may be totally off topic because I really don't know what y'all were talking about. But
all good.
People living in their personas, from the little bit that I did here, I think sometimes it becomes a part of who the person really and truly is. Like, they start incorporating that into their real life. I'll give you an example. We were just watching The Perfect Guy I had never seen it before, with Sanaa Lathan, Morris Chestnut, and Michael Ealy. And we were talking about how Michael Ealy consistently plays this crazy ass in every single movie. And it got to the point where I'm like, okay, he's delivering this persona to everybody, but he's really he got to be crazy in real life, because there's absolutely no way that you can play this role so good and live like a normal life outside of this. That's exactly why he picked up Megan Good and spent her around, and oh boy couldn't say nothing because he knew he was crazy in real life.
And why you gotta go there?
Wow.
It was an opportunity.
Why you gotta? I don't. Hey, crazy or not, I'm gonna have to see how crazy you are that day.
That's a good point.
Hey, crazy or not, pick up my lady in front of you. We're gonna have to test that. I don't give a damn. No way. I'm gonna have to see how crazy you are, my guy. Let me pick my girl up, man. What?
He didn't do anything. He sat right back there and took it. Like,
he already had charges. He couldn't get no more. He had charges already. Nah, that's not happening, dog. Nah, but I agree. I'm gonna say what I think is truthful. Unfortunately, guys do the same thing, but like, I'm just realizing it more and more as I get older and get in certain spaces. Guys will and I mean this respectfully, guys will always get to choose. Women don't. Like, it's but just strictly based off how many more women there are than men. Like, guys do the same thing, but they're going to get to choose. There's always going to be, always is aggressive. 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a woman that would accept what that next woman did. So she's willing to be like, oh, not you, okay, then you. You know what I mean? Dudes are going to get the pick. So it doesn't work against guys the way it does for women. Even back to the point that Asia was making earlier, like, in these spaces in the higher ups, there's not a lot of women, right? So if you got 1 or 2, you already outnumbered. So you don't get the same mistakes or the same chances that all the other men get, because it is so many more men, so many more women than men. And that space becomes like you lucky you here type jump. So I don't know. Any more thoughts on Joy Taylor?
Good luck to her.
All right, so we're gonna switch it up a little bit, man. I got a real question for y'all, man. So you all believe men should be the protectors, right? So
I don't like how this is set up.
Say if like you experience your man do something that's not the toughest, that's not real protector-ish, similar to this right here.
Troop, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Spotters, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Taser.
Like, do you lose trust in his level to like protect you? So like, even if it's not a taser, right? Say if you see him get knocked out, like it was a good hit, it was nothing wrong with it. He may get knocked out, something of that sort. Does it change the way you look at, the way he can protect you now?
100%. Yes.
Really?
First of
It's
all,
the scream. It's the scream.
Hey, my man. Hey, look. Just say like somebody hop out the bushes and he do this right here.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
He hop out the bushes. He do this.
Taser.
What's the conversation on the way home?
There is none. I'm catching it
There's
over.
nah, yeah. It's silent car. It gotta be.
Are y'all for real?
It's
I
the scream.
disagree.
Nah, because honestly, if he does that in front of you, he's gonna be embarrassed too. You gotta let him process that. You gotta give him the silent car. Maybe talk about it when y'all get home. I don't know what that conversation looked like, but
He just got tased, and it was levels to his scream. Like, let's be clear. He started off sounding very,
it
you
was
know what I'm
fine.
saying?
Mhm,
Then it went up.
mhm.
Then it went up. But
Mhm.
then it came back down. Like, y'all acting like he was up there for the whole time. He had
See,
levels to, like, he corrected in the moment.
mhm,
He corrected his
mhm.
scream, and he got tased.
Asia. If I'm ever in a space where I need to be protected, I don't ever need you to get to that high pitched moment ever for me.
And
Why? Because I'm gonna be screaming.
Ooh.
If I'm in a space, I'm going to scream, and it's probably going to be high pitched. I don't
both
need
of y'all
you
doing
to
that?
scream too.
Oh, both of y'all?
Nah, y'all, you. Mm-mm.
Ken
Yeah.
Sneak he also said somebody jump out the bushes on y'all and your mans do this right here. So it's not just getting tased. He's saying in general, he do something embarrassing, like give a high-pitched scream in a situation when he's supposed to be protecting.
Hey,
I think there's levels.
we gonna get to the comments real quick, y'all. But I will say this: taser is a bit aggressive. I will say that. However, it's certain things like you just can't do in front of your lady. You know what I'm saying? Like, I much rather you relieve yourself on yourself than scream like that. Like you hold it in.
Pissy pants.
Hey, look, I'll put it to you like this. Scream in front of your lady like that and see if she ever respect you again.
Okay, pee on yourself in front of your lady in a situation and see if she respect you again.
It's like,
you
don't pee on yourself. You pee on that shit.
Taser. We talking about the taser. The taser.
Okay. Oh, the taser. See, earlier you said
taser.
somebody jump out the bushes too. Like you.
So women, women right now, Asia and Princess said it. I'm about to show it. Said, oh, it's a taser. Come on.
The taser,
scream. Yeah, but that scream ain't gonna get me. Like that scream don't matter though. Taser or no taser, you can't scream like that.
There were levels to his scream. I will defend this man because y'all acting like he went straight to the high pitch and he stayed there. He started off rough. Then he was like, this really hurt. And then he came back down like, wait a minute. He came, y'all not giving him credit.
I don't remember him coming back down. Do we need to play it again?
Yes, he did. He did play it one more time.
And read the caption at the top.
Yes, sir. Spotters, are you ready?
No, I'm not reading that.
Taser.
Never came
See
back
that? He
down.
started coming.
He did not come back down.
Never
He
came
said,
back
He
down.
didn't. He did not.
"Oh,
He didn't come down. He didn't come back to his original, but he was not all the way up there, y'all. He came
That
You can't
was
do.
down.
funny.
Hey, Asia.
he gave out 3 high-pitched screams.
No, I
3.
don't care,
I
y'all. He
rock
got
with you.
saved.
I rock with you.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be real. The taser give you a little leniency,
A little
but
bit.
I'll
No,
say this:
man. No.
I do believe that as a man, there's certain stuff you can never do in front of your lady. Like you just can't do it. Like you call me what you want, you just can't do it. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. I give you a small example. Like say somebody pops, like something happened, y'all supposed to run. You let go of her hand first. Y'all just broke up. If
Yeah, I agree.
if you're in a situation where somebody about to get the thumping, you get knocked out, and say even if the guy snuck you, y'all just broke up. Say
If he snuck you though,
bro.
Yeah, if he snuck you, that's
People
different.
don't want to be honest. If your woman is, hey, wake up, it's over. No matter what happened before that. If she
square up with him. You
Hey,
you
God.
rowdy, you loud, and you doing all of this, and you square up with the dude, and he knock you out. All right,
We're
I give
done.
it to you. I give it to you. But
Okay.
if you looking this way and he coming from that way, and you get knocked out, and you leave me, you deserve to go. I'll holler at you, shawty.
Hey, Dot, I'm telling you right now, get knocked out in front of your woman, snuck, no snuck, and let her have to wake you up and see if she ever.
It don't
Hey,
matter.
nah,
No,
it don't
not.
matter. Huh? The last thing, like,
Please.
I was just, and the last thing that I'm not gonna go there. Real quick, so I'm not gonna go there. That was a little too wild. I forgot we was on live, y'all. So Princess said, "Bro, I'd rather you scream than." And Princess said, "Bro, I'd rather you scream than shit
Right.
your pants." She also said, "That's not a good." She said, "That's not a good example." It's a taser. She said, "I'm absolutely joking on you after that scream." Marcus Sales said, "Nah, I'm joining on that for the rest of our friendship." They already broke up. He said friendship. They already broke up. He said, "And he a police, so nah, he should have failed the test off that alone."
That part.
And then he said, "That's not a taser scream. He got some bitch in him."
Wow.
Oh my god! Hey, so let me ask y'all
man.
this. Let me ask y'all this. No taser. Real question. How would you handle if you saw your guy do something that made you feel like, hold on, I don't know if this nigga can protect me or not? How would you handle that conversation to him?
Okay.
Like you like him, everything's going well. Like he just, and it's not even like in public. It may be something that happened while y'all was chilling. Like, hold on. Like, I don't want to use something. I don't like. How would y'all have that conversation? How would you initiate that conversation?
The look on their faces says they wouldn't say anything.
No, I would definitely say
I'm saying
something.
something.
Okay, just making sure. Okay.
I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna hurt your feelings or not.
Okay.
All right.
Not in like an intentional way though. You see what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you do have to be mindful about how you say the thing. That's why I'm sitting here really confused. Like, how would I say it so it doesn't come off like I'm hurting your feelings?
I would
I
just have
wouldn't.
to understand if there's some underlying trauma there. Like
Mhm.
there's got to be a reason why. It depends too on the thing, right? Like if a lizard is in the house and you're screaming and I'm screaming too, we have a problem. Like I need to really understand what is happening. That's
So he can't have a
that's
phobia.
what'll make me question like what are we doing?
Okay.
But if
Yeah,
it's something
I
if
think
So
it's
he can't
something
have
a
a.
little more extreme, then I think a good conversation could come out of it.
Okay.
and
Mhm.
I agree with that because like in my head the initial thought was I would just be like, yo, what was that? What was that? But that's what I'm saying. I feel like if I say that, that would be hurting his feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like what was that? What are we doing? But I think I would have to take into consideration his feelings, the magnitude of the situation. So if I can be honest, y'all, I don't know how I would say it. But I definitely would like Like you all right? You good?
Would you be able to
Good.
work through it?
I didn't feel it depends what it is because like if it's let's say to Brit's point, if it's like a lizard or like a spider or something like that, like I have a different like yeah, like we can move on not from that. But like if we out somewhere and some guy approaches us or somebody says a guy says something negative to me and I'm looking to you to support me or to help me, y'all get into a tussle. Wait, that doesn't sound manly, right? If y'all get into a fight, like, and then he knocks you out, and then I have to, and Keena, to your point, and then I have to go console you, wake you up, or whatever. After I just look to you like, babe, get him, and now I got to get you. Now I'm mad.
Mhm.
What's
So
your thoughts, bro?
there's no situation where your man is defending you and he takes the L and he walks out basically like still with his girl. That's wild.
Why are you
Maybe the other
asking?
dude knew some stuff.
Telling.
Maybe I'm asking. There's
I don't feel I feel like as a man, and this is like
Mhm.
on a serious side, but I do feel like as a man, you also have to know, you have to be very aware of what your skill set is, right? So like
That's
no
a crazy
funny,
way
but
to
like
still
if
say
you
you got to do if
know,
you can't fight.
but it's true, right? Like don't have me out here really thinking. I would rather know my man is not a fighter than think and he painted a picture that he's a fighter, and then I go to him for that skill set and he's not that. Because now I'm more upset that you not only was it an embarrassment, but I thought I could trust you in a specific way that you lied, like you painted a picture that you were this guy, where you could have easily just said, you know what I'm saying? It will come up at some point. I don't know when, but
So
you know what I'm saying?
it's
Like I
the
would rather know
lying.
that my
It's
guy's
not the
not a
not being able to fight.
fighter. It's it's
The
both. Like,
lying
but
part.
if my guy can't fight though, I would like to know that so that I'm not looking to you. Like for me, because I'm so level headed. Like for real, if somebody's like whatever, I was just like, let's get out of here. You know what I'm saying? If I see somebody
Mhm.
like looking at me weird or whatever, I would rather be like, all right, like let's just go. As opposed to like, hey, go get him.
Hey, it happen.
Like
Hey, that happens every day. Hey, so Marcus
I
L
do.
said, "You think it's a conversation?" He said exactly. Any woman should break camp who loves herself. At that point, a man that can't protect equals a child, in my opinion. Princess says she's not leaving her man. Marcus L's laughed at the skill set comment. Princess says everyone isn't going to win every fight. Doesn't mean he's running, but stuff happens. Okay, respect. I respect that. I
That's
respect
true.
that. Asia need a Bruce Lee. Hey, got out here. Yo, so Princess, I'll say this. I agree. I do think there becomes a point. I will say this. I do think there becomes a point with our big age. Like you ain't gonna be out fighting too much anyway. Like protection is really more so in your home, in public if need be, but you ain't gonna be in too many environments where you shouldn't be in too many
Mhm.
environments where you like have that many threats around. Like I feel like we passed that part of life.
Yeah.
However, I do feel like context matters, but man, it just get rough when she saw it. Like if she went to the bathroom and came back out, like what happened? You can get out of that. But if she saw it, I just feel like that's rough. I ain't saying you got to leave, but I feel like that's rough, man. I feel
I
like that's
feel you
rough.
on the context matters because people know stuff nowadays. People do boxing just for fun. People do jujitsu and taekwondo and all that just for
People
fun.
don't fight no more though. That's the thing now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
Absolutely.
think I'd leave more so because you fought, you fought versus walked away. I'm at a level of maturity in my life where I feel like we shouldn't be fighting people in the street anyway. So what are
Yeah.
we doing here? So if you do take the initiative or step to fight somebody, now I feel like you put us in a dangerous situation because we could have just walked away from this situation, really and truly. And you got knocked out too. Like now we're going to the hospital because you decided to fight somebody.
So I'm gonna be real. That depends. If I feel like it's an actual threat, I'm not walking away because I feel like walking away puts me in a more vulnerable position. I'm being honest about that. Like I feel like sometimes walking away works when like if somebody's really threatening. That's why I don't like really believe into the like walk. Hey, bro, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? If I feel threatened for real, I'm in attack mode. So I'm saying to your point, I'm not saying you should go fight, but if I really feel like my wife or my family is in danger, if you talk about fight or flight, I edge more on the fight side than flight if it's immediate danger. If we can exit and not deal with it, yes. But if it's immediate danger, sometimes walking away makes your family more vulnerable to something. That's just my opinion. It is case by case. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying just be out here, swinging on everybody. I'm not saying that. Princess said, "Now if he running, I'm gone." And Marcus Hill said, "Don't turn your back on the threat ever." I agree with that, bro. I agree with that. Anything else about if your man scream like that, can he make it back out? Because he can't. He can't. All right. So before we get into a really dope topic, we're gonna kind of switch. I can't wait to hear what y'all say about this. This is actually from B Dot. He gave the topic. How do y'all feel about men wearing bonnets in the house and in public? Like, are we in 2025 where it's like, you know what, it don't mean nothing? Is it like you can wear it in the house, but you can't wear it out? What's y'all thoughts on men wearing bonnets outside or wearing bonnets, period?
Go ahead. Hey.
It's a no for me. So
either place?
Either place. Because first, there's too many other things to put on your head to tie your hair up. So I'm not a hair person anyway. Like, I'm a very clean cut type of girl. So if in the past, right, if a dude had hair, I just feel like there's way too many do-rags, hair tie, I don't know, something else other than a bonnet. That I don't need you going to bed looking like me. I wake up and we both sitting here with our bonnets draping around our neck. That's crazy. Absolutely. And definitely not stepping out with you in public like that. No. We got to find you something else to put on your head to go to sleep.
You'd rather him scream, right?
And why do you own that? Like, here's my true question. Like, what made you walk into the hair store? Because you got to go to the hair store or Walmart or wherever and legit pick out a bonnet and say, you know what, this is what I'm going to rock to wear to sleep to protect my head. Instead of a do-rag or something else.
I'm about to say something crazy. Asia, what's your thoughts? I'm still going to say it, but I'm going to wait till after you say your thoughts.
I think I agree. I think that my rule, though, because I am thinking about, like, obviously being in the lock community, right? Sometimes, like, our hair is really long, men or women, right? So for me, and there are, like, the lock caps that they look like bonnets, right? But here's my thing. This is the factor. As a woman, when it has a little scrunchy, where it scrunches to your head, that's a bonnet. If your scrunches right here, I have a problem with that. Yours should have the elastic band. You know what I'm saying? It just leaves a smooth line. That for me, that's okay. But even wearing that in public, I have a whole different. I don't even like women wearing bonnets in public. That's just a me thing, though. So for my guy to be wearing a bonnet in public, that's no. That's no. I'll take the scream over the bonnet.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean that.
Nah, I think the bonnet is more so context matters. Like the bonnet and like how it got. I'm saying like the dread situation. So my wife has locks, right? I ain't gonna lie. I ain't never had long hair where I had to. I'm just giving my opinion. I would not wear one. I think that's one of those. God, I don't want to get in trouble on the first show, bro. I think that's one of those. If you could protect it from inside, it's not gonna be bad. As soon as you step across that threshold in public, you cooked. Some women don't care about stuff like that. I think we live in times, and this is just my opinion. I think we live in times where it's so easy to thread the line between masculine and feminine that like one thing could be an issue, and then something that's completely like terrible won't be one. You know what I'm saying? Like he can't wear a bonnet, but he need to get out here and cry every day. To express itself. Like that's insane to me. Like that's crazy.
So do you think deep down inside men really want to wear bonnets?
Nah, I think there's certain hairstyles that a bonnet makes more sense. That's what I really think. It ain't look, obviously it ain't my hairstyle, but I think for certain hairstyle, I'm not being funny. I'm not knowledgeable. He doesn't have dreads. He has a big ass afro. How do you wrap that up?
I still say the same thing I said. As long as you don't have the scrunchy part right here, or as long as you don't have to do one of these, you tie it around and it got to be a big bow. Because I know with do rags, you still have to tie it, but it's just yeah,
Okay.
it's
You can
different.
tie
I
it
feel like
down.
you have
Wake up in the morning and pick it out. You're gonna pick it out anyway. Like I just don't. I don't know.
I
It
just
seems
think it is insane how something you go to sleep in could be a no-go, but if he crying every week to expressing himself, express yourself more. Like, can y'all explain that line that drawing of the line for me? Let me not use crying because that's not what I'm saying.
yeah.
Can you explain to me how like something as simple as a bonnet, which I agree, I ain't gonna wear one. I agree, I get it, right? But like, how can that become a hell no? But in the same note, it's like I think it was Asia just said men deep down. What if that's something my man been, you know what I'm saying? That's a part of his expression. That's what he been wanting to do. He's still the same guy to you.
She gotta
Are
wear
we
it every.
talking? Are we talking about somebody's other, or are we talking about just a single guy wearing a bonnet?
I mean, either way you want to flip it.
That's wild. You don't just wake up one day and be like, I've really been wanting to wear bonnets all my life. I'm gonna go get me a bonnet.
No, what I'm saying is I don't think that much thought goes into people getting one as it may come off to a woman, is the point I'm making. Like, I think times are getting where people go ahead, Asia. I'm sorry.
You go.
I think people don't think about stuff on such a level anymore, men specifically, because that's what we're talking about, to where they're thinking about like, damn, I'm gonna get judged because I put my afro in a bonnet. And he gonna get cooked and not stand a chance. But he ain't thinking nothing about that. He literally thinking about taking care of his hair. Because if he was dirty and scrungy looking, he wouldn't stand a chance. No way.
I do agree with that. I don't think it's becoming more I think certain things are becoming more normalized because even when we think about bonnets, right? Um, Traditionally, historically, it's been Black women that wear bonnets, right? But now that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's wearing bonnets, right? Like I've seen white women wearing bonnets now, right? To protect their hair. I've seen white men that have curly hair, you know what I'm saying, that they wear bonnets too to preserve their curls. And so I think like the idea of a bonnet, it's not solely within the Black community anymore. So I agree with that point. But as for me and mine, I'm cool. I'm cool without it. I never wanted to reach for a do-rag before.
I got you. Hey, Marcus L said, let the ladies have some things. He said Brittany don't give, but she ain't going for it. And Dominic, appreciate you tapping in, said no one gives a shit. Hey, some people do, bro. Some people do. So hey, B-Dot, would you ever wear a bonnet, bro?
Yeah, I gotta protect my scalp, man.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question, man. So we just got off the Miami stop, right? And I'll just fuck with you.
Oh my god.
This has been another episode.
Yo, all right. Hey, next topic, y'all. Next topic. All right. So this was actually Angel Reese actually said this, and I thought it was a good conversation to have amongst men and women. If somebody says you look better in person, is it a backhanded compliment? Like they seen you online and they seem like, damn, you look better in person. Is that a backhanded compliment? Like, is that a success? Or is that like I gambled to come see you? Is it like I gambled to come see you and then now I'm happy I came?
It could be. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. I think like you already have an image of how the person would look. So if you're going to meet this person, then you already have an expectation of what they'll look like. But then when you show up and they look better than what it was actually giving in your pictures or their pictures, I think that's when the comment just kind of comes out. Like, damn, okay, hold on. You was a 9 out of 10. Now you a 10 out of 10. Like, I'm happy that I'm here. I'm happy that I did come. It can be a backhanded compliment, but I don't necessarily think it's put in that perspective most of the time anyway.
Yeah, I hope you wouldn't say that to somebody's face.
Man, hell, man. Hey, look, y'all being nice, man. Hell yeah, it is, man. What?
Why?
Because I'm gonna be real.
If it's said in your face, yeah.
No, I'm gonna be real with you. Ain't nobody gonna say that from a 9 going to a 10, a 8 going to a 9. You saying that if you gambled on a 5 and it turned out to be an 8, like, oh shit, man. Oh yeah, we straight now. Like, be honest. Like, if somebody was an 8 or 9 in their pictures and they look, you're not gonna say that. But if you was, might have been feeling good, I'm gonna risk this. You know what I'm saying? And you thought they was subpar, and they turned out not to be. You not saying that no 8 and a 9 or 9 to 10. No.
But there's a lot of factors too, right? Like, if we're going based off of just a photo that we're seeing and we're gambling, and then you make a comment like that, it could be everything about that person. It could be their swag, like how they dress. You can't, if I'm sitting here in a jacket and a t-shirt right now, but I put on a dress and do my hair and makeup, and you see me in person and the comment is, you look better in person. Well, yeah, you saw me like this in my profile picture or whatever it is. So I don't necessarily mean that. I don't think it necessarily means that they're like a 5 and then I took a shot in the sky and it's like, oh, I'm doing this to let you know you was ugly, but you really cute for real. Like, I don't know.
Can we be honest for a second? If the swag, the demeanor, the confidence gave them points, you're not going to say you look better in person. That's not the thing that you're going to say if those things boosted them. Because you can't get that from a picture anyway.
Right.
So I'm saying, so if those things boosted someone, you're not going to say, hey, you look better in person. No, you're not doing that. You saying that because you thought they was ugly and now they not. Because, oh, dang, you need to take that down.
It could go both ways for me. I don't necessarily think that you say that because you thought the person was ugly. I think that you can genuinely mean like, wow, you look 1,000. You've never seen somebody that looks good, like on a picture, in a movie, in a whatever, and then saw them in person and was like, hold on, they really, really, they really look how they really are, but they're 10 times prettier in person. That doesn't mean that you thought that they were ugly when you saw them. It just means that they look better when you saw them in person, in real time.
And everybody don't take good pictures. So you might just not be photogenic and you don't look good in your pictures. And then when I see you, it's like, oh, damn.
You're not saying that though, bro. Like, you're not saying that. It's my point. You're not saying that, bro. And if you are, you ain't saying.
I think it can go. I do agree. I think it can go both ways. And what I was sitting here thinking about is like that, but that comment gives the same energy to me as like, you look better without makeup. Right? Because I think sometimes the intention behind it is like, wow, like you're in your natural skin, like you look gorgeous for real, right? But then other times it can be like, it can be taken the wrong way. So I really think it's about delivery, and how you say it. And even to Britt's earlier point, I think it's also about like, how are you communicating with me when we just were online communicating, right? Like, were you complimenting me then? Because if you never said anything, like you never gave me a compliment, you never hinted that you thought I was attractive, and then when you see me in person, you say you look better in person, I'm taking it exactly keen to how you're saying it. I am. But if you then are like, you complimented me or whatever, and then you see me, I'm just like, wow, like you look even better in person. That's very different to me.
Even better makes it okay, because that means you were good looking. Even better, switch that up. All right. So Princess said it's definitely a backhanded compliment. Marcus said, nah, it's a compliment. Saying you look good in motion isn't a bad thing. Princess saying you're so pretty in person sounds a lot nicer. Marcus L said, why people be so mad? Like, I don't even know you or seen you before. Laugh out loud. Take the compliment, please. Princess is just giving game on how to say it. So if you meet somebody ugly, Princess is telling you how to say it in person to make sure you still keep the date going. Saying you look even better in person or you look even prettier in person is a lot different. Marcus L said you ain't never said that for no 7, bro. It's not even being subpar. She just looked better in motion. I'm not saying that, period. I'm not saying better. Oh, you look I story time. True story. To this day. So I met my wife. This is why I learned not to say this. I was in a computer lab. And we was in college, This back when Facebook was on the computer. So you put the computer up and we was like, hey y'all, man, this joint a vibe, man. Everybody exchanged Facebooks. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. So really, in real time, I'm just being nosy. I got to figure out what's going on before I shoot my shot. So we literally had like a little 6-person computer jump. So bam, everybody go through Facebooks. And I get on when I like, hey, 18-year-old Keenan. I'm like, damn, this you? I like, you just look different. That's crazy. And I legit just looked different. Wasn't ugly, no nothing. Man, it was like I said, you like the bottom of my foot. I'm like, nah. I'm like, damn. Like, if I would have saw this picture and then saw you, it's not that you ugly. I would think there was 2 different people. Like, I like, damn, this show for real. That's what's, huh?
I said, why you say that?
Bro, that shit, hey, catfish was big at the time. I'm thinking like, oh, like verification. Log into your joint over there while I'm right here so I know this pop up when you log in. Like, I try to figure out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But no, in all honesty, I said that not even thinking nothing of it. Man, let me tell you, I almost lost my opportunity. But the only thing that saved me, I just said it looked different. And I meant that. I really didn't mean nothing by it. But that's when I figured out you don't say nothing about the picture type vibe. So, Marcus L, to your point, I'm not saying none of that, bro. I learned my lesson. Hell no. Princess said, you look better in person. Probably me. I thought you was ugly at first, for real. Thank you, Princess. Come on, log in, man. Transparency moment. I use this line. Sometimes it works 10 out of 10. I ain't saying that joint, bro. To Brittany's point, I met Megan Good. My exact thoughts. Laugh aloud now is different and bad. You probably said it surprised as voice. No comment.
You just said that.
Here he comes.
You saw this person. You saw this person, then you saw her on Instagram, or excuse me, Facebook.
On the computer.
Mm-hmm. And when you saw her on the computer, you was like, oh damn, this you. As in, she looked different.
Yeah, not
That's
ugly.
What you said, right?
Yes,
That's what
sir.
you said, right?
Yes, sir.
How is that different from what we're talking about right now? You didn't think she was ugly?
Are you saying if I say you look different by saying you look better, those are in the same playing field? Not at all, bro.
It's the same. I mean,
It can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on, man. No. If I say
it doesn't have to be, because she could have taken you saying, "Oh, you look different," as her being ugly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Even that you, that to me,
that's what got me.
You don't even have to say nothing else.
That's what got me.
You?
That's what got me.
Like, who else is supposed to be?
Hey, what'd he do?
Yeah, that got me.
That's you?
Yeah, my face won't like that, yo. My face won't like that.
Like,
that's what got me though.
Damn, wait, hold up. You literally
I want this one.
Going back and forth like this.
Yeah.
You looked at the computer like, I want this one, not this one.
I'm with y'all when I'm right. No. Hold on. The craziest part was the picture. You know what, man?
Wait. The picture. Wait, did she look better in person?
Hey, we're doing a switching of partners this year. Me and Asia are no longer partners. Just the world don't know. Now you know. Nah. It was just, I'm gonna be real. It was just, y'all know me now, right? It was just a spare of the moment. Like, I didn't think nothing of it. I had a girlfriend at the time. I wasn't OD pursuing, so I just said it. And it wasn't like, oh damn, you look different in picture. I ain't squinting my face like that. I ain't
That's
like
cool.
that.
Tell the truth, bro.
I was like, I did. I was like, damn, that's what's up. Log into that real quick.
Shock factor, man. No.
You might as well say, damn, you ugly right here.
Yeah. Nah, it wasn't even that tight. Okay. Y'all got it. You can't. Vulnerability in 2025 is not a thing, y'all.
I'm just
Don't
saying,
tell
different and
stories
better,
to your
kind of like,
friends.
I ain't gonna lie. Say I look better in person. Don't say you look different. That's backhanded.
I agree.
That's not backhanded. That's not a compliment at all. That's not first of all, Doc, that probably never happened to you before. First. Second.
You're right. Because ain't nobody gonna do that to me. You're right.
Second, that ain't a compliment. It's just saying different, bro. Like y'all trying to make different be bad. Y'all trying to put a negative twist on different.
Nah, you trying to twist it as if you didn't squint your face up to let us know what you meant by different.
Hey man, sometimes it's not good to do stuff like this with your friends, man.
Hey man, chill, bro. Okay.
What I meant was, and I mean this, all jokes aside, I was wrong. But what I was saying is, in my mind, it really wasn't a bad thing. Okay, so has this ever happened? I'm gonna finish my thought, but has this ever happened? Have you ever seen someone, and then even if it's no approach, no nothing, you just see somebody you know, they look one way online, and then you see them in person, the energy, the vibe you get from a picture is just like, oh, that is not what I thought that was going to be like. Not even from a look perspective. It's just very different. No, you're
That's exactly my point.
The same thing Brittany said. Brittany literally
said the exact same thing, and you argued me down.
The swag, the style.
I didn't use any of those words, but Brittany, right? I'm a changed man. I didn't use any of those words, but Brittany's right. The only point I was making was different is not the same thing as ugly. Can we move on?
Okay.
Depending on how you use it, but all right, we moving on.
My face scrunch got me in trouble. Y'all right about that. I should have did that. I should have did that.
You different.
Hey, so let me ask y'all this. At our big age, is there any scenario where you can still get to like somebody based off all the other things Brittany said and no looks anymore? Earth 99? Like, is that still a thing, or that only works when we're younger? Like, does proximity still, like, they may not be the highest on your list as far as physical attraction, but the other things can still come into play at our age?
Yeah. I think it's more prevalent now at this age than it was when we were younger, honestly.
I'm gonna be real about the scary part now, yo. I'm probably being too transparent. This is a good conversation, but I'm being honest. I'm with my people. What I'm realizing, I'm 34. What I'm realizing is you want to be with somebody, or when you get older, like, you realize people that's kind of came off their, like, damn, they ain't gonna make it phase. Like, some people get into their early 30s and their mid 30s, and this ain't trending in the right direction, right? And once upon a time it was. So, like, they just, you know, it's not trending in the right direction. And what I'm realizing now, I think is more attractive someone that's gotten older and worked on themselves, no matter which way, than it is to be with somebody that's never been through any type of change. And you got to figure out what change looked like for the first time. I think that's a lot scarier. I really believe that.
What?
Are you talking about? Hold on. Are you talking about like looks? Are you talking about their overall character? Are you talking?
I'm gonna use guys for a second, right?
Okay.
No funny. If you've met a guy and he's redefined himself, say he's 37 now, he might have salt and pepper now, right? Mm-hmm. If you meet him with the salt and pepper and he's learned how to do his salt and pepper, it may be easier than meeting him when he was all black, head full of hair, to now bald with salt and pepper. It's easier to meet that finished product than sometimes it is to meet the person and see all the changes, because people don't always make it through all the changes. And I'm being honest about that.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like it's easier to meet the person that already went through it. Okay, they live this now. Because you don't got a reference point. You know what I'm saying? What if you know what I'm saying? Like, wait, like I never do salt and pepper, and then the motherfuckers start going salt and pepper.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
there's a lot of people there, even for men. I hate no body shame here, but a lot of dudes will. It's easier for them to take in a woman that they've met, have gone through all the things that they've gone through with their body, and have accepted and comfortable in their weight, versus if you started off and you have a type, right, for a smaller woman, and then she goes through life and things happen to her and now she's bigger than what she appeared to be. Like, a lot, there are some men out there that's like, no, I'm not willing to accept that, versus this is how the maturity level in the brain I'm talking about. Like, this is what I started off with, this is what I hope to end up with, versus I met you at this weight or area, that your space that you're in, and you're understand your habits, your healthy lifestyle or unhealthy lifestyle habits, and I'm going to pursue this. Men will drop women. Men do it all the time. Drop women, excuse me, for things as simple or small as gaining weight or losing weight. Some men like bigger women and don't like for their woman to be too skinny.
Yeah, no, come on, man. I ain't getting in that. You ain't about to give me no trick bag.
It was an example.
Yeah, can I do like a true story to Britt's point? Like, I've
Oh
had
yeah,
like
go ahead. Story time with Asia.
for those that have, it's very quick, but for those that have seen me in person, I have very small stature. And I don't have any children. And it has been said to me, I wonder what you would look like after you have kids, right? Or, oh, you just need to have a couple of kids, right?
Hold on,
Like,
from what sex said that?
huh?
What sex
What?
said that? Did a man say that, or did a woman say that?
A guy said that to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, with me being so small, right? Like in stature, to Britt's point, like there are some people only, I feel like when we have these type of conversations, a lot of time it comes down to like the losing weight factor. But there are a lot of men that it's the opposite for them. That my stature, I am too small. And so it's like, you just need to have a couple kids.
So I guess that's why I went with something besides weight. You know what I'm saying? Because you also realize with weight, men and women, a lot of things come into play that people can't even help. That they really have health conditions and stuff like that. So I don't really like to get into the weight thing. And then I'm always been like, this is not what I graduated high school looking like. You know what I'm saying? But in the very same regard, back to the point, how can I say this, man? I'm not being funny. It's a privilege to age well. And I'm not speaking on myself. I'm saying in general, that's like genetics plays into that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people being able to age well after high school is really a privilege for real. And I think sometimes if you're with somebody through all the changes and y'all don't have real authentic conversations, it could be tougher going through all the changes than it can be meeting at the end.
Yeah.
But that's wild. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Wild to say that though.
You hear wild stuff every day.
We do. We do. Dot, any perspective on any of those things?
Nah.
All right, we got two more, and we're gonna get up out of here. I can't wait. I don't hear that. So, is it weird if all of somebody's partners look the same? Like, not the same person, but it's like, damn, they've been with 4 different people, and all these people would be like, damn, you know, like, what she look like? And it's just all these partners look the same.
Like
not favor, huh?
Like they got a type.
A little more particular than type.
Is it weird?
Hell yeah, man.
I would say weird because you're searching for this person. If they look alike, you searching for this person. That's weird.
Let me tell you, man. I'll go on the books and say it. Please don't judge me. I think it's weird when people date people that are like their siblings. I think it's weird if more than 2 of your partners look the same. And I think it's weird. I think it's weird if you're like, I think it's weird that types are one thing, because I feel like you can have a natural hair could be a part of your type. natural hair looks very different, right? But if I keep recreating this person that I used to be with, that is weird to me. To me, especially over years. Fuck no.
Yeah. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about it because I feel like it can cater into them having a type. Princess, I agree. Like they do just have a type, but there's a certain level. Keenan, this is where I'm with you. There's a certain line that it's like, okay, yeah, I might like the light skin, long hair, blue
Thick
eyed chick,
red bone.
whatever.
Open the eye to
Right.
filet mignon that. My fault. My bad. My fault.
But when it gets to a point where they start favoring each other, where you're out here dating, like, what is it called? Doppelganger? Like, we're not.
Earth 99.
That's a little too much for me because to B Dot's point, I think what are you looking for in that person? Like you're trying to find the next version of the person that you were with, I think. Especially when they start, and true story, I've been in this, let me not do that because
hey man, hey look man. 2025, dog.
But I'm not gonna do that. I'll tell y'all that offline. But I really do think that's a real thing where people look for the next best thing, the next version, and the similarities are too close. That's when it becomes weird. If you got same birthday, same name, same job, you statute is the same. That's when it becomes very weird, and people really do that.
Me and B Dot argue this all the time. That's why I'm quiet. Because I can't. I'm gonna say it all out. So it's like, and Dot, please correct me. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and him argue about type all the time, right? And like, I'll say something. Good night, baby. Love you. So I'll say something, and like, no, I'm not gonna say it, bro. This. I'm gonna say it all the time. I just the type thing to me is more like, okay, yeah, you do have a type. I get it, but I feel like type should be able to fit different things. Like, I don't think type is to the point of like exacts. Like, gotta be this. Like, it's a little excessive. This height, this hairstyle, dude. That's not type to me. Type is a very general. Like, go ahead, Asia.
No, I was gonna say, but I think it can be for some people. Like, I think it's a both and. Like, for instance, like I have a friend. All growing up, it was light skin. Some of them have freckles. That's just what her type was. Her husband, light skin. I don't know if he has freckles, but he's light skin. He fits it. Like when we all saw who he was when we first met him, was like, of course, obviously, right? Because she had a very distinctive type. Me, I'm different though. None of my exes look the same at all. My friends have no idea what my type is because it doesn't actually exist in the way that they look. But in terms of like my type though, Keenan, to your point, is like it's always like the creative, intellectual, but that's really good at what they do. Like really, really good at what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So that's been the only deciding factor for me when it comes to my type. It's not a physical thing, but I have a friend that it literally is a physical thing. Nothing else is in common but the fact of how they present themselves physically.
Have you ever dated somebody ugly?
Yep.
Okay.
Brittany, please.
Did you know they were ugly when you were dating?
Honestly, of course, yeah. I met them when they looked.
Hold on, but you were still attracted to them when they were ugly?
Yes. Like, here's the thing that, and I really mean this. Like, and I'm gonna say like they were objectively unattractive to most people, but I really am the type of person. You know how some people be like, oh, it's not the looks that matter, it's like their personality. Or I really don't like her. It could be their personality or whatever the case may be. Like for me, I really am attracted to I become attracted to like someone that's like really talented or like super driven and like they're really, really good at what they do. You know what I'm saying? And I can have an intellectual conversation and they're also creative at the same time. Like for me, that's a mold that fit. I cannot stand Brittany at all. But I have dated, I have entertained unattractive people, like objectively unattractive. That for me over time, It was like,
Objectively
they're
is
not so
diabolical,
bad.
dog.
Like I'm just saying, how there's some people that's like, I won't say like, yeah, that most
Like
people would not
universal
find
ugly.
physically attractive. I don't want to say like that, but like, and not ugly, but unattractive. So like, it
Mhm.
might be, I don't know, just different things that I was just like, I didn't meet them to be like attracted to them, but it was like, oh snap, like I got to know you, like you're mad creative, mad smart, and then like, yeah.
So Asia, like, do you think that do you think that you can do you think you can learn to love somebody? Like, let's say you're not attracted to them, right? And but there is a part, you just said that there was pieces of them that you were attracted to. Do you think you can
Mhm.
then learn to love them for that piece, but also like in the long run find them attractive as time goes by because of all their other attributes?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
before we continue to go, Marcus Sale said, "No, most people don't accept change naturally. So unless it's forced, new practice, you will do the same thing over and over. Plus, your partner will resemble your opposite sex parent. Your opposite sex parent. What the fuck?
Parent.
Huh?
Like I guess he's talking about like for me it would
Oh,
resemble like my dad and like
Hey, hell no!
uh,
I read it right. Hell no!
No, my
Hell
parent.
no! Hey, bro, I ain't with you on that. Hey, I'm with you when you right, but I ain't with you on that one now. No, hell no.
nah.
Objectively, like we all like we all do, but you, that's insane. Objectively is great. Prince says, I'm with you, yo. Objectively unattractive is insane, dog. Like, what's going on here? Objectively, like, I'm an educator. When we say objectively, that means like we talk about court. I object. Like nobody can say nothing else. That's insane. So can I ask you a question? Like, how did it get to
maybe I should have said
attraction?
majority
How did it get to
because
attraction?
because we didn't start
Like you see
off like
somebody
it
like,
was
damn.
it didn't
How do they make it to like
no
you creative? So I like
it
you.
didn't because it didn't start off as like a dating scenario at all. We were friends
Okay.
for many years, like many years. And I really pray to God that he never hears this, but we were friends for so long, and it got to the point like years years later. I don't want to go into too much detail, but years later, it was one of those like hey, like could this be something? And I literally was just like, maybe, sure, we could try. And I kid you not, and this is like honest to God, but like it got to the point that like we ended up talking about marriage at one point. Like it was
Oh wow.
we only did not make it. Um, I dated outside my race, and we only did not make it because his parents did not approve of the fact that I'm black. And
Wow.
that's really why we didn't end up together. So like in the long haul.
Mm.
Tell me no, may I?
Yep.
Told you to
All
tell
I'm
me.
not joking. I'm not joking. Asking serious questions, being respectful, all the above. I'm not playing right now. Seriously.
Yeah.
What was it? What was it from his perspective? Was that too much for him to overcome, knowing that his parents didn't accept that? Or was it too much for both of you all to overcome? And what I mean by that is, was it a situation? And, hey, first of all, I appreciate you actually sharing that because that's real. Was it
Mhm.
the fact that could you all get to a point where it's like, okay, we don't care how they feel, us versus the world, or was the obstacle too big to overcome from a cultural standpoint for you or a cultural standpoint from that person?
It was too big for me. So
Hmm.
we actually had a sit down meeting with his parents. That's when I found out from them that they did
Mm-hmm.
not accept me because I'm black. So it was, and he like almost flipped over the table. He was having a whole fit. Like it was because mind you, we had been friends for years. So it's not like his parents didn't know me. But in
Mm,
his culture, there's no such thing as dating. So it's like you go from, it's like if there's interest, y'all are getting married, y'all are getting engaged.
mm-hmm.
And so they had a full blown meeting to explain to me why it was not going to be possible. He was still willing, I was not. Because I couldn't wrap my mind around having not being close with like my in-laws. That was something that's always been really, really important to me. And because I knew that wouldn't be a thing, I said no. And he ended up calling me like right before he proposed to the woman that he's married to now, and was just like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure."
She number 2, Bo.
Mm.
A guy, true story. I don't know why this is so.
Mm.
A guy did that to my dukes, and that's the only dude I ever would accept it as my stepdad. A guy did that to my dukes. I like, damn, bro. I hope your wife don't find out.
Mm.
But Asia, appreciate you sharing. I've never experienced that. I've only dated I've only dated my race. So I'm always intrigued by conversations around what those dynamics are like because I've never experienced it.
Have you ever dated inside of it? It just sparked a question in my brain about dating within your race, but also not being accepted by a family due to cultural norms. So like, I don't know, Jamaicans, Haitian, American people, like we're all of Black descent, right? But like culturally, some people of Caribbean descent want you to marry another islander. They don't want. So I speak from being fully one of the few fully African American, solely Black woman in Miami, because Miami is like a melting pot with a bunch of Caribbean people. The people that we meet or I've met prior to marriage, everybody was from some sort of island. So like I guess, how do y'all feel about dating within your race, or if this has ever happened to you all? But there are other cultural norms that their families may not agree with. Like, why are you marrying an all American person? Or is it acceptable, or is it not?
I'm gonna be real with you, man. This is the only part where I agree with Marcus a little bit. It's like, man, my mom was a Black woman from America, so that's all I ever like. Don't none of my like things that my preferences come from looking like my mom, but that's probably the only thing Brittany and I haven't. Now, Earth 99, young guy once in a while, you know what I'm saying? That's why I put Sneak under K-Dot. Like I've interacted with not sexually, I've interacted with different cultures and stuff, but I just never, I ain't never really, man, I can't not know what I want to say, but I can't say it. I can't. I've never made it to the point where that decision had to be made for me, talking to anybody outside of my culture or outside of my race.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
All right. So Marcus said, he said, I agree. People select partners that resemble their parents' looks, attitude, etc. Unless you want nothing like your parents as a man, consciously, you will be attracted to women that are it stopped right there. I'm gonna say your mom. He said I dated average. Huh?
It says that are like our mothers.
It didn't. Oh yeah, the second comment I didn't see that. He says I have a similar story too. That's why people got to be more racist for each other. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna leave that there. I dated African, and her mom, I'm gonna say, said she can't stay with me because I'm Black American. Yeah, they don't play about that, my boy. You can't do too much about that. Great question, Brittany. We're gonna go to the last thing. Brittany, I know you feel a way about this one, but this is the last topic of the night. I was watching something, and this happened in real world, and somebody had said a social worker was like, in her experiences, boys are more forgiving of an absent parent than girls. Do y'all believe that? Do y'all see the effects of mommy daddy issues in boys more than you see it in girls? Are boys more accepting of when their parents come back around? Are girls not? What's y'all thoughts on that?
I don't agree. I don't think boys are more forgiving of an absent parent, and I'll tell you why. In my experience, and this is just an opinion, being a social worker too, working with children, a lot of the foster youth that we do work with, or I see, it's a majority of the young teen girls go searching for daddy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times, even if mom didn't do harm or gave her best foot forward, it's always but daddy, but daddy, but daddy. There's a piece, like a missing piece. Personal story. I have a family member that also doesn't know who her father is, but she's always reached out, always looked for him, found him, didn't want nothing to do with her. And it's just one of those things where she still longed to talk to him just to understand why. I think boys are more boys may not show it more. They're more nonchalant about the situation. I won't say that they don't care, but I do feel like girls forgive more. It's more of like, okay, you weren't here. I just want to know why. I want to know why, and that will either take them left or right. Either they'll strive to be better than their situation, or they'll strive to look for a partner that's similar to the absent parent or not, or vice versa. I just think women, their emotions just kind of kick in, and they tend to be more forgiving. Again, this is just from personal experience, kind of encounters that I've come in contact with. Boys are just nonchalant about it.
Okay. Princess said, I've seen far too many situations where the father is absent or deadbeat, but the young girl looks past that and still wants her father regardless. Now, my challenge to that is, does that mean that she's forgiving of him, though? So I can't remember. It's on Netflix, right? And there's this documentary that's in DC about all these fathers that are incarcerated, and they have like this daddy-daughter dance for all their daughters, where like they set up this big event where all their daughters come. Princess, I do agree that you see a lot of young ladies wanting their dad regardless of what has happened. However, I don't think that makes them forgive their father. There's still a lot of tension there for rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? Like forgiving, I feel like I feel like when Brittany said boys being more nonchalant kind of plays into them being a little more forgiving, because dudes probably don't take stuff internalize it as much as we think. But little girls may also want their father, but that doesn't mean they forgave them. There's still some things that they, probably go through with them as they're trying to gain the trust of their father, or rebuild the relationship, or whatever the case may be.
But boys too, kind of, for me, boys kind of tend to harbor that in. Like society naturally teaches dudes to suppress, not show your emotion, whatever. We're living in a world now where we're trying to bring more of that out. But look at Will Smith. That's a perfect example. When that scene that touched everybody, when dad came and like he was like, I was, you've never been there for me type thing. And I felt like that was a suppressed emotion for him for so long, and it was an expectation for his father not to be there. I don't forgive you for anything that you've done, right? I've just learned how to suppress it and move on, because I'm told I have to be the man of the house, or I've told I have to live up to societal norms of doing these said things or whatever. Versus a girl, it's more of like the emotional process is more at the forefront, which allows her an opportunity to be more forgiving in a situation. If daddy comes back in the picture, it's not like I had to learn how to do these things with mom, right? It's more of like, where have you been all this time? Okay, daddy waves he picks me up, takes me to paint my nails on the weekend, and all of a sudden he's the best dad in the world because he did this thing, because I long and I yearn for this. I don't know if I'm making sense. It's more of a love, compassion versus like a lesson teaching from a male figure in a boy's life. It could have something to do with like same sex versus opposite sex too.
Okay. Dot, what's your thoughts, bro?
I'm sitting here listening because my father's not in my life. And I can probably count on one hand how many things that he's done for me, right? But I have no ill will towards him. I hope he's doing fine. I would say that I've forgiven him for not being here with me or for me growing up.
Sorry, bro. Let it out, bro.
Nah, I'm trying to I was sitting here listening.
Come on, internet.
And
Come on, man.
Brittany, you said something
Dot, we lost
that
you. We lost. You said nah is what? We didn't hear after that.
I'm
I
back
can
now.
hear
We
him.
good?
Am I tripping? Is that me?
Yeah, because I can hear him.
So, Britt, you said that she, fuck, I done lost it now. But Brittany said something that made me be like, what qualifies the forgiveness? I don't have any urge to, reconcile with him at all. It's really out of sight, out of mind for me. I don't, be sitting here one day working and I'm like, damn, I wish I had my dad to teach me. It's not that. But I would say I've forgiven him. I don't hold on to anything that he hasn't done for me at all. But you said something about the daughters want to have the dad around or the dad to come back. And I felt like you were saying that qualifies for the forgiveness, or that's a part of the forgiveness. Like she's forgiven him for not being there. So she's okay with him coming back or wants him to come back. And that's what kind of put me in the thought of like, does that mean I haven't forgiven him? But I don't think that does. I don't need him here in order to, or want him here in order to say that I've forgiven him.
Okay. I agree. Appreciate you sharing that. No, I agree. I'm gonna say something to the parts of dads and forgiveness real quick. I'm gonna get to a couple of comments real quick. Princess said, but the mom will give who was working so hard much trouble and attitude. Agreed. If they didn't forgive them, then they wouldn't really want to deal with them on that level. Marcus Sell said, I can see MFers that need a void to fill. Black boys need their fathers and long for it, but the ego of a young man will make you fight until he can't. I tutor young men that look for that male. Hey, that's very true, bro. It happens every day. I would say the opposite saved my relationship with my dad. If anybody knows me, I'm a certified mom's boy. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I ain't that. You know what I'm saying? I was that growing up. I think the absence of my father allowed me not to judge him in those moments. So when we did reconciliate, it was easier for us to have a conversation because I was like, oh, you on that side, I'm on this side. I don't rock with you. You don't rock with me. That's how it was in my mind. So I didn't have a judgment point because in my mind, I was like, oh, I felt the way. I didn't understand why he wasn't there. But us not having these forced interactions throughout my childhood help me forgive him and heal as an adult because I didn't have a lot of negative reference points. Like I didn't have a lot of like, oh, I saw him. And I think what played a factor in that, I'm really close to his parents. You know, my grandfather, his dad passed away. His mom is still here, but I was really close to them. So like they didn't force a image of him on me, positive or negative. My mom didn't force an image of him on me. Solely, it was like whatever I thought about him, he caused. So when I got older and I was able to have a conversation with him, he couldn't understand why I didn't feel as strongly as other people because I was like, hey, bro, anything I feel you did, ain't nobody tell me this, you did it.
Is it me?
What you mean, Doc?
Now it is on my end.
Yeah. Asia, what's your thoughts though?
So many of them.
Okay.
I think I think that when it comes to boys, I'll just stick to the question for right now, but I think it depends on what age we're looking at this question from. Because I think asking an adult male, you might get a different answer than if you're asking a high school boy, a middle school boy, right? I think that from what I've seen, boys meaning like younger boys, not adults, um, they tend to be more forgiving if the mother was the absent parent and tend to have more anger, um, like rage actually, not just anger, rage if the absent parent was the dad.
For
So
sure.
I've never heard a young man say like about an absent mom, like, yo, I'm gonna fight my mom one day, right? I've heard
That's real.
plenty of young boys say, I'm about to lay hands on my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I see him, I'm gonna fight him. You know what I mean? Like, I think that in that regard, I think on the opposite end, just because we brought it up, like I think that a lot of young girls, I think it's the same. I think they have a lot of anger toward their mothers, right? Rage
Mhm.
toward their mothers that it becomes more of like it's a vicious thing, right? Towards their moms if the mom was the one that was absent. But I think if it's like a dad that was absent, then it's either whatever, right? They actually become nonchalant. They don't search for it because it's like I can find it elsewhere, or he just didn't want to be around. Oh well, right? Um, but what I've seen actually in girls is that they almost expect in different settings, they expect for the dad to be the one that's absent. They do not expect for their mothers to be the one that's absent. And so it's a lot hurtful when you have a mom that has been the absent parent, because it's not in society. We don't talk about the mom being absent. Even in our discussion, right? We went to the dad being the absent one, the father being the absent one. We didn't talk
Mhm.
about the mom being the absent one. And as
For sure.
somebody, for those that know, like for a portion of my life, my mom was the absent one. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like it hits different, because the question is the nurturer, the one
Yeah,
that is supposed to be doing all the things all the time. She left. She's
for sure.
absent. That's a big problem. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's really different when the mom is the absent one, and we don't talk about that enough or a lot. But I think it hits different because it's like you were supposed to be the nurturer. Why aren't you here? Why wasn't I
A-
worth it? It's expected for the dad to be absent.
and mommy issues in young boys that become men, they get vicious, boy. Mommy issues with little boys when they grow up. And I'll say this gave me my graceful, forgiving spirit. So I was really close to my dad's father. Raised me, taught me a lot of my things, right? And what used to enrage me as a kid, I'm like, granddad, how you that guy, but this right here. And my grandfather's like, hey, chill, that's my son. He was my son before he was your dad. I'm like, y'all know me. I'm like, okay. Well, he my dad now. I don't know him before that. Da da da. So, as me and my dad's relationship has gotten really close, my dad told me one day, he was like, hey, bro, this is what taught me about learning. He was like, do you think he said, you feel like your grandfather was a great father to you, right? I was like, yeah. I like, hell yeah. And he was like, well, where do you think he learned that from? He wasn't that same guy with me. I like, damn. He was like, so the father that you got was the father that I always wanted. And that's what allows me to be allow our relationship to allow him to be the grandfather to my kids, that I don't let how he wasn't a dad to me affect that. Because when he said that shit, I'm like, damn, I ain't never think about it like that. He was like, yeah, that's why I used to get so mad, because he like, how the fuck? He like, how you like this with these two jokers, but you ain't never tell me you love me. But these little Bammers get it every day. So I learned to give people grace. People got to learn. I think the biggest thing from this conversation is like, sorry that it's boys and girls. People got to identify the void, like Marcus L said, and you got to address it as soon as you know that it's there, or it comes out in so many different ways as an adult. It really does. But now we cool now. My pops, that's my guy. But I learned grace in that way. People learn from their mistakes. Beat out, you
For
back good?
sure.
Was you saying something, or you was just getting back good?
Nah,
Oh, Brittany,
I
you
don't
had
know
something?
what was going on.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
was gonna say that through experience, I feel like I love that you said that, Keenan, because it's important for me, and I'm learning this daily. I I come from a 2-parent home, and I have
Mhm.
a great relationship with my parents. However, dating, let me not say that either. Let me just be general. When you've gone through an experience where your parent wasn't the best or absent, and then you rekindled the relationship, right? And then now you have kids. Um, allowing the grandparent to be the grandparent to the kids, I can imagine it can be difficult. right? But being on the other side of that, me being on the other side of that, not experiencing that, but having to allow my child to then be entertained by someone that wasn't a great parent, but I didn't experience that, right? So I had the great parents, but having a child that then has to go through this grandparent that fell off and came back in their child's life, I feel like is I have a different perspective, and I'm happy that Keenan shared that, because I was at a pit stop before hearing what he had to say, because I'm in my mind I'm just like, well, how can you? I feel like you're trying to what's the word I'm looking for? Like make up for lost time, almost like you're trying to rebuild what you didn't have once upon a time, and now you're afforded the opportunity to do it with your grandparents. But to me, in my mind, you still ain't fill whatever blank you want to fill that in with. um it's just hard. It's hard to navigate that space. So I guess my question I'm guessing it's to Keenan, really, is did you find it difficult to allow your dad to then be the best grandpa that he could possibly be to your kids, knowing the relationship that you guys once upon a time had?
If I didn't have the relationship that I had with my grandfather, it would have been difficult. But I knew what my grandfather meant to me, so I wasn't going to rob my kids of their grandfather. Because yeah, think about it. People won't be this real about it. I may be all the things in a positive way. My kids might not like me coming up, and that may be the person that they connect to, because I connected to my grandfather. So I don't want to rob them of an opportunity of another positive male figure because I feel away. You know what I mean? And me and B-Dot, we've had this conversation a lot of times in different facets, but like also, transparently speaking, I've experienced a lot of loss. So it changes your perspective on how people should be in each life. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm protective and he know, but I allow that relationship to be there because, and I'm using allow intentionally, because my dad has also proven that he's not the same guy. And I was the first person in my dad's life that gave him grace. And that's coming from your child. So that level of grace that I gave him to be human allowed him to show up as himself. So it was hard, but I mean, I think I had to do a lot of internal stuff and not get in the way of it, because my dad also know it's certain stuff like, hey, this is a line, this is a line, this is a line. Hey, bro, I ain't there yet. Don't do it.
And I think it's important too, like you saying, it's important though, thinking about like how you saw the change though, right? Because like obviously I don't have kids, but like my dad, I always knew my grandfather was my dad's side, but like they didn't have a good relationship. And because of that, and my dad did not see that my grandfather changed, I didn't have a relationship with my grandfather like that. Like he was always around, but it wasn't like some of my cousins had a better relationship with him than I did. Right. But like on my mom's side, I went through something similar to what Keenan had, but with the women's side, right? So like my mom was not raised by her mother, right? My mom was raised by her grandparents. My grandmother was raised by her grandmother. And so it was almost like it skipped generations. And so I had to have a conversation with my grandmother though of like, hey, G-Mom, I'm not your daughter. I am your granddaughter.
That's real.
And it was a conversation of like my mom is still here, because I started to realize my mom would see how my grandmother would treat me differently even in front of her, because it was that like do-over, right? And so it was what my mom was just like, I guess this is like it, because that's all she knew. She knew her mom was just not always there, right? And so I was like, well, she got to be the grandma she's always wanted to be, you know. And it really was like a, hey, G mom, that's my mom. So I am going to have a mother-daughter relationship with her if that's what I want. And I'm just her granddaughter. And that has to be okay. So there also has to be a line,
For
right? Like
sure.
she is like, y'all could mend this. Because I didn't want to
Under-
be responsible for that, you know? So
That's
it's
real.
on both sides.
Hey, salute for having that conversation too. So we got a comment. Julius, appreciate you tapping in. He said, B-Dot, question for you. Did you have a coach or any male figure in your life you kind of looked at as a father figure, or someone you felt like didn't want to let down? Next question to follow.
Yeah, my grandfather. Speaking of this, like he was the perfect role model, and I had him up until last year. So yes, I did. And that's really all I needed. I guess that kind of helped, I guess, fill a void, not make it so that I needed to search for my father and want for that relationship. So that was something I was going to say earlier, where it's like that may be a reason why young men don't feel the same as young women, because, you know, maybe a coach or a grandfather or some mentor somewhere down the road, you know, they look to them for that guidance or whatnot. So the dad not being there didn't affect them the same way. It's not the dad, but it's a void filled.
Yeah. And I'll say this too. Couple things real quick. Julia's great question. Shout out RIP Coach Clem. Shout out to Coach Ray, Coach LaRue, Coach Kish. I did have that part of my life, being an athlete, a lot of positive male role models. And I will say this is going to sound so bad. I also had a group of guys, shout out to my bros. We all were fatherless children. And I think what a lot of people don't know is why you see the bond that we have and the type of dads we are now. Because we had those conversations when we met. Like, oh, no, I ain't going for that. So to the point, we had positive role models, and it's kind of like we made this like unsung patent to ourselves. Like, hey, bro, we ain't doing the same thing, dog. Like, and you see the responsibility or the responsible choices we made, like when we had kids. Like me having my first kid at 29 was one of the best decisions that I ever made, because I actually had the capacity to be a father and a husband and do everything else. So I said that to say, who you're around when you're experiencing these type of traumas matter. Like I also was in environments where people had both their parents, and it didn't bother me, but I saw what it looked like. So it allowed me to kind of put the world like, okay, this might be the type of joint I want when I get older. I ain't gonna do that, but I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? But like, shit, I got a circle full of friends that ain't got dads, and we all turned out all right, because I think accountability came into play. Like, hey, bro, we ain't gonna do that. It was done to us, so we ain't gonna move like that.
Love that.
Oh yeah, he said. Julia said he thought that was gonna be his follow up. Do you think it make it easier for boys and girls to get through that? Salute. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you though, and I'm gonna say this. I ain't trying to. We about to get off, but I'm gonna say this. Hey man, forgive me, y'all. As an educator, I'm gonna generalize for a second, but I mean it respectfully. A broken young lady, because of her heightened level of emotional intelligence at a young age, is so much harder to crack through than it is with a broken young guy. Like if a young lady has that type of like understanding of what happened and the emotional memory of what happened, it's a lot harder to, as a male, let me say that, as a male, support her if there's that type of void there. It's really, really hard. Meaning like young boys that have it, it's easier for me to relate, because at the end of the day, we both guys. A young lady experiencing it, and you try to give that mentorship, being that you don't have really a relatable point, is very hard. I hope that made sense what I was saying.
I agree. And vice versa.
Yeah. See, but I don't think vice versa though, because I feel like boys always want their mom. So if they find a motherly figure, they draw to it. I feel like that. I'm not saying it's true.
Well, the only reason why I say I disagree is because there's certain things, there's only so far that we can go. There's certain things that a man just can touch that we cannot touch, the same way with a woman and a girl, a young lady. I had a young boy, reached him in different capacities, but then there was this threshold where I actually had to bring in a younger male to then mentor him so he would not die. So he would not be in the streets and do all of those things. Rest in peace. He still ended up doing some certain things. We could not get through to him, but there's certain things that my counterpart did to get through to him because he was a male, and it was coming from, because it was always but you don't understand. but you don't understand, miss. You don't understand, miss. Right? But when he said it the same way, different approach, man to man, it was like, oh, okay, I get it. Oh, okay. So men can do, so I feel like boys at a younger age, it's the same way, Keenan, that you feel like, in my experience, that you feel like you can't touch certain things with a woman, even though we have nurturing attributes and motherly vibes. I just feel like there's certain things that we still cannot instill in a young boy that a man can do.
Oh, agree. I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that. I was doing that because sometimes I just got a box, man. Hey, come here real quick, bro. Come outside.
Yeah,
Bye
knock
bye.
you out.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes that physicality make it there. But great. Appreciate everybody vulnerability on that topic, man. That was a deep one right there. Any last thoughts on absent parents or are boys more forgiving or anything like that before we get up out of here?
No.
All right, man. Appreciate everybody tapping in, man. This is the first live show of 2025, man. What we got planned for y'all this year, y'all have no idea, man. We can't wait. But anyway, appreciate everybody that showed up to the show, man. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you get all the notifications. If you have not done so already, our social interviews from Miami podcast party are live. Also, the kickback from December, the ugly sweater kickback is live, so please check those out. It's your boy K.Mims. I got the two ladies of the show tonight, Asia and Brittany. What's happening? My bro B-Dot is with me, man. Only spot you get authenticity and entertainment at the same time, and we are out.